So let me just say this. Realistically, we put way too much pressure on LeBron, the Lakers, and all this stuff because they are the Lakers. But to ask that question, in 2001, I came into the NBA, and so did Michael Jordan. So to ask Michael Jordan what they would need with the Wizards to win another championship, this is similar. Yes, Michael Jordan didn't have Anthony Davis.
Whoa, back it up.
Beep, beep. This is similar. Yes, Michael Jordan didn't have Anthony Davis, but ultimately you look at an incomplete team, an incomplete roster from the standpoint is they don't have enough dogs.
Oh, shit. Here we go again.
When it comes to LeBron James and the media for the past 10 years, we've been subjected to the same story time and time again. If his team loses, it wasn't his fault. If he misses a big-time clutch shot, also wasn't his fault, and some other person to blame for him missing. And the worst excuse of all used by him and the media is the idea LeBron James never has enough help.
Oh, that's not so much. So?
The idea LeBron James in his 20-plus year career hasn't had enough quote-unquote help to get 5 or 6 championships is the most laughable narrative I've ever heard. As looking at his career post that first stint in Cleveland, Miami, Cleveland again, and Los Angeles, stacked rosters at every single turn. And looking at LA specifically, someone like Rob Pelinka makes moves at the behest of LeBron James and the media. Case in point, 2021 with the Westbrook trade. After this trade, in the moment, the media lauded Rob Pelinka as a great GM, and they said LA had legit title hopes.
According to Caesars, the Lakers' odds to win the title didn't change. They're still 4-1 behind the other big super team, and that's Brooklyn.
Look, adding Russell Westbrook was huge, and that makes them the favorite to come out of the Western Conference. And in my eyes, that makes them the favorite to win the title.
I think the Lakers will be in the finals, and I wouldn't be shocked if the Lakers win the title.
You have Russell Westbrook now on this team. You have Anthony Davis. You've been able to add depth with your bench from a scoring perspective. We'll see how they handle things defensively, but this is by far the best team in the West.
I like the Lakers over Milwaukee. I think LeBron James ultimately figures it out. Every year's a lost year. He doesn't win one. He didn't win one last year. He's very hungry now, and I think they've got the roster and the talent to do it.
I rest my case.
Now, seeing clips like those from ESPN now 3 years later, they've been memory holed, tossed in the trash, and just kind of forgotten. As when it comes to LeBron James' media machine, what they do constantly is hype his teams up, hype him up to all-time great status. But of course when he falls flat on his face, those expectations, those standards, they're never upheld. The LeBron James media cycle is one of the most frustrating things in all of sports. Because of course how it starts off, has no help, his team stinks, the roster doesn't work. Team makes a move, the media goes nuts, LeBron says he has help, they're now contenders. Now of course LeBron in the playoffs, he fails, he loses, and all of a sudden this team, they were trash, they were garbage, and LeBron carried them. That same cycle right there is on repeat for the past 4 years in Los Angeles.
So let me just say this. Realistically, we put way too much pressure on LeBron, the Lakers, and all this stuff because they are the Lakers. But to ask that question, in 2001, I came into the NBA, and so did Michael Jordan. So to ask Michael Jordan what they would need with the Wizards to win another championship, this is similar. Yes, Michael Jordan didn't have Anthony Davis, but ultimately you look at an incomplete team, an incomplete roster from the standpoint is they don't have.
That's it. I had enough of this guy for one.
Jefferson, once again, despite being a former NBA player, proves yet again being an NBA player means nothing for actual basketball commentary. As looking at the 0-1 Wizards MJ joined, they were a dumpster fire, bottom-feeding team that the year prior had won 19 games. That Wizards team was the third worst team in the league, only ahead of the Bulls and Warriors. They're a bottom 10 offense and the worst defense in the league. LeBron's 25 Lakers, they have Anthony Davis. I'd say Davis, debatably at his peak, is better than any teammate Jordan ever had in his career, certainly in Washington. And for a quick side-by-side comparison, the 0-1 Wizards versus the 0-2 Wizards, MJ pre versus post. The 0-1 Wizards, Juwan Howard, Rip Hamilton, Mitch Richmond, Ron Strickland, Christian Laettner, and so on and so on. The 2002 Wizards, they lost Juwan, Mitch, and Rod Strickland, and really added nobody outside of Popeye Jones. That team Jordan joined, they were a bottom-feeding team. And despite that MJ when he played, had a winning record with the Wizards. And let's make one thing very, very clear. Jordan on the Wizards was a very good player. Top 10 player? No. Rip Hamilton, was he top 15, top 20, top 25? I personally wouldn't say he was. That team outside of Jordan didn't have one top 25 player. The Lakers debatably have 2 top 10 players. That, of course, LeBron James, as was Anthony Davis. Outside of that, also D'Lo, Reeves, Rui, Vanderbilt, some really great depth, and a solid bench. LeBron's help in LA this year in 2024 is far superior than Jordan's in 2002.
Is that a fact? That's a fact.
And here's the part for LeBron James that never makes sense. The media all summer long, what they say? He's a top 5 player, top 10 player, the quote-unquote best American player. If that's actually true, LeBron James is still a top 5 guy, having Anthony Davis, another top 10 player, that level of depth. If you can't win a championship with that team, you don't have championship expectations. In reality, you're not a top 5 player or a top 10 player. But again, the media contradicts themselves. The Lakers stink, they aren't good. But at the same time, LeBron James is a top 5 player and AD is top 10. If that's actually true, you actually believe that LA, at worst, should be a top 5 seed. And you might say, for a 40-year-old player in year 74, why are you being so harsh? Well, here's the reason. Someone like Nick Wright, Michael Jordan, holds years in Washington against him very, very much.
Without Scottie Pippen, and all 5 years was below 500. Should that be disqualifying? People just react like you spit at them. Like, oh, you're going to bring up the Wizards years? Oh, I don't know, guys. Was he playing? Was he younger when he started with the Wizards than LeBron is right now?
Now, Nick Wright in that clip, actually, I don't disagree with him that much. Michael Jordan in Washington, he was still playing. And Washington not making the playoffs was kind of a failure. But here's the catch. LeBron James Los Angeles, with more help, more stacked teams, has failed more often than Jordan in Washington. And here's the major catch. Michael Jordan with the Wizards, again, went to a bottom-feeding team. He could have gone to the Lakers, the Blazers, a really great contender with a chance to win a championship. But of course, he didn't. He went to Washington. They had no expectations. The Lakers the past 3 years have had expectations every single year, and according to the media, should have been the NBA Finals. As of course, looking at LeBron's help, the revolving door of help, guys like Dwight Howard, Melo, Rondo, Caruso, Kuzma, Beasley, Vanderbilt, Reeves, Russell, Montrezl Harrell, Taurean Prince, Schroeder, Westbrook, Malik Beasley, Avery Bradley, KCP. The list goes on and on. LeBron James, his stacked role player help just in Los Angeles. When looking at Jordan's Wizards, what was his help? Jahadi White, Ty Lue, Rip Hamilton? Is that championship contender, even East Finals contender? I don't think so. And the biggest elephant in this room for this entire comparison is that Michael Jordan, age 40, he was already cemented as the greatest player in league history. LeBron James, age 40, the vast majority of fans, is not the greatest player of all time. Is his career cemented? Is he a great player, a top 10 player? Of course. Is he the greatest? No, far from it. My overall point being, Michael Jordan, age 40, if he did anything in Washington, it's ice on the cake. LeBron in Los Angeles, if he's trying to catch Jordan still, every failure, every missed game winner, pulls him back one more step from reaching his ultimate goal. So that right there is the end of the video. As always, thank you guys for watching, hope you enjoyed it. I'll see you next time.